Hey friends, Steve here to give you a very quick and simple technique for getting started pumping on a surf skate very easily. Now this tutorial is for beginners who are struggling to get your surf skate moving. I see a lot of beginners on Instagram and Facebook, and what I see is a lot of upper body movement that's not really translating into the lower body and therefore not actually really moving the board. You'll see a lot of people kind of reaching with that arm, but they're only reaching with the arm and nothing's really happening down here. So everything is uncoordinated. And this technique I'm going to give you in 4 simple words is going to solve that problem and get you moving immediately on a board and do what I call fall into the flow of the surf skate. And if you find this quick technique helpful, then I invite you to go check out my full video course for beginners at surfskatingfornonsurfers.com. And if you're in Thailand, I've translated the whole thing into Thai, which you can see at surfskatingfornonsurfers.com/Thai. Okay, so our 4 simple words are heel down, toe up. Let me explain what I mean. The first thing we're going to do on a surf skate is get our proper foot placement. Now, I've explained this in previous videos, but let's just cover this really quick because this is actually very critical to this 4-word technique. So when you step on a surf skate, your front foot you want to be right behind that front truck. Some trucks are different. Some trucks like the slide, you can ride up a little bit more on that truck, but most surf skates you're going to be right behind that front truck. And you want your foot to be at a little bit of an angle, so the way I look at it is, as a goofy-footed rider with my right foot forward, I want to cover that bolt right there. If you are a regular-footed rider, your left foot's going to be forward, and you want to cover that bolt right there. You also do not want your toes off the edge of this board, because if I have my foot right here, I'm going to be too heavily toe-sided. If I have it back like this, I'm going to be too heavily heel-sided. And what we're going to be doing is a lot of heel-toe today, so we want to make sure that we get that placement up right there on our front foot. On the back foot, there's a little bit of debate on this. Personally, I like to be about right here, pretty far back on that kicktail, and I like my foot at an angle. You'll see a lot of surfers put their foot something like this, like clear back on that kicktail, and more straight like this, and that's because they will bend their knee like this. I can't do that because I don't have the flexibility for it. So I have to be my foot more at an angle so that I can bend like this, because I cannot bend like that. So you might have to modify your back foot, but the bottom line is your back foot is going to be pretty far back on this. You typically like behind these back bolts, about like so. So once we get the proper foot placement, then our technique is what I said, heel down, toe up. Now let me just demonstrate this really quickly on the ground first, and then I'll jump on the surf skate and show you what this looks like on a surf skate. So what you want to do on a surf skate is, instead of starting with upper body movements, you want to start from the ground up and come up. So this heel down, toe up technique really just has to do with your ankles and your knees. And all we're doing is coordinating the ankles and the knees to get the timing and the coordination of a surf skate pump, so that then you can get moving. And then once you're moving on the board in that flow, then you can integrate upper body, and it's very easy to do so. But you first have to just get moving on the surf skate. So here's what this looks like. I'm going to have my proper foot placement. I'm skating this way, and really simply, I'm going to get moving by just heel toe, heel toe. We'll show you how this works. Then we're going to coordinate knee bends with heel toe. And what that looks like is, when my knees come down, I want to be heel-sided on my board. When my knees come up, I want to be toe-sided like so. So let me show you what this looks like on a surf skate. We jump on, we get our proper foot placement so we can get our good heel-toe action. And the first thing we do to get this board moving is we use nothing but our ankles to do heel-toe little wiggles. And you can see how I am moving this board with nothing but my ankles. And it's moving. I'm not doing anything upper body. Like I said, you see a lot of beginners will be like, I'll see them like do this kind of stuff. And nothing's happening below the waist. We got to start at the most fundamental level with your ankles doing heel-toe wiggles, okay? Now, once we've got the board moving with heel-toe wiggles, we're going to integrate the coordination of the knees with that heel-toe rail-to-rail wiggle. So what that means is, when my knees come down, remember we said heel down, toe up. When my knees come down, I'm heel-sided on this board, When my knees come up, I push my toes down. Heel down, toe up. Heel down, toe up. Heel down, toe up. So knees come down, heels go down. Knees come up, toes go down. Heel down, toe up. Heel down, toe up. Just like so. It's that simple. Just like this. Now guess what? We're in a surf skate pump with using basically nothing but our ankles and our knees. It's just the coordination. The problem that you see with people is they're kind of fighting against the board, and there's just a natural flow to way these boards want to move. And once you tap into that flow, then it's really easy to get moving. And then once we're moving with ankles and knees, just like so, then it becomes way easier to just start adding. We can add whatever upper body we want. We can add hips, we can add shoulders, we can add those arms for balance. But it all starts in ankles and knees. Heel down, toe up. 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 And that's your technique. Heel down, toe up. Your 4 words to get moving very quickly and easily on a surf skate. So go practice that at home. And if you want more in-depth instruction, go check out surfskatingfornonsurfers.com. Or if you speak Thai, go to surfskatingfornonsurfers.com/Thai.